please.
Councilmember Fox.
Present.
Councilmember Williams.
Present.
Mayor Durham.
Present.
Councilmember Moore.
Present.
Councilmember Sevier. 4 present, we have a quorum.
All right, with a quorum present, I'll call this meeting to order. This is a regular scheduled meeting for November 22nd, 2017. And we'll start today's meeting with a word of prayer and our Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask that Captain Ryan Maddox lead us in a word of prayer. And Robin, if you'll lead us in the pledge afterwards.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for a wonderful day, God, that you've given us, God. And just thank you for these guys. It's our leaders of Lawrenceburg. God, I pray you give them your wisdom, and God, only your wisdom. And God, help as they make decisions, Lord, that will be filtered through your hand. And God, I thank you for what we're here for, Lord, for our 2 guys that's retiring from the fire department. We thank you for them and their service. And God, I pray you bless them. But God, just help us through the day. Help us all. Lord, we thank you for Jesus, who died on the cross for our sins. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's see. Gentlemen, in front of you got a copy of the minutes of the previous meeting. You should have also gotten a copy of that via email. If there's no additions, changes, or deletions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion to approve. Second. And a second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion. If you're in favor of approving the minutes, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed. And the minutes are approved. All right, we got several visitors here with us today. They're glad to see a lot of folks from our fire department here. And I just want to say publicly, thank you for to the fire department for the actions that you took on the building just north of the square. That was a public fire that anybody could ever ask for or have, because there was a lot of people showing up for the parade and stuff like that. And a lot of people really commented on how good the fire department was and the equipment that was there. They were really proud of the team, and so I just wanted to convey that to all the members of the fire department, and Chief Moore appreciate your department's work there. Even though the building wasn't salvageable, the buildings surrounding it were saved, and we really appreciate the efforts that were taken there. But to go along with that, to segue into that, I have 2 retirement awards here. One is for Captain Jeremy Johnson, and the other one is for Engineer Michael Hooper. If you guys will come up. Come over here and help me hold these, Chad. All right, so I want to read, these pretty much read the same, so I'm going to read one for both of you. This is from the Office of the Mayor of the City of Lawrenceburg. This is to certify that Engineer Michael Hooper and Captain Jeremy Johnson is hereby presented retirement awards for outstanding performance and faithful service to the Board of Mayor and Council and the citizens of the City of Lawrenceburg through your dedicated service in the Lawrenceburg Fire Department. And each of you have 20 years of service, and thank you, gentlemen, for your service. We really appreciate all that you do for the City of Lawrenceburg. Jay, if you want to say a few words, we'll let you do that, or if you guys want to say a few words, we'll let you do that. Go ahead, Jay.
I just want to say the fire the mayor talked about, and I'm going to touch on just a second, was Mike's last fire. He was actually there on the tower. I've probably known Mike almost longer than anybody in the fire department, and maybe 1 or 2 have known longer. We go way back family-wise. Been a great employee. I hate to lose him, but I understand he's wanting to retire, and that's what you work for all your life to get there, and I appreciate his service. Jeremy, I've raised him in the fire department from day one. He come to work on my shift. I was a captain. So it's a little bittersweet seeing him leave before I leave, but I understand the circumstances, appreciate his service, and he has been a great employee for the City of Lawrenceburg and an asset. And both of them we're assets, and we're going to lose a lot of education, a lot of training, and 2 good men.
Absolutely. Let's give these gentlemen a hand.
Hey, we don't want you and him on this one here. And No, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna bring you the middle here, Jay, in a minute. Okay, let's get ready to come on in. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Tim's gonna think back a little bit. Then flashback. Oh, here you go. All right. So we're getting that thing. Okay. Well, y'all halfway smiling. So. Show business is rough, ain't it? Okay. Got two more here. All right. Jack, I'm gonna get
Have you got a camera without a flash?
Yeah, I have, but it's in the garbage. There you go. Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'll do something a little different in a minute. Let me try this, Mary. See if you like this.
I like it already.
You like it already? Okay. When I get through, you
Looks
like it,
like
okay? Okay. We'll try this in. Okay. All right. Is that better, Mayor? That's what I thought. Okay, we'll do about 3 more. I lied. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, y'all know.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Look, man, love you, brother.
All right. All right, so the city offices obviously will be closed tomorrow and Friday for observance of Thanksgiving. I want to wish everybody here happy Thanksgiving. Hope that you can find some time off to be with friends and family and enjoy a good Thanksgiving meal. Chris, I'll turn the floor over to you for your report.
Just want to let everybody know that the driver's license services will be closed all of next week following the Thanksgiving holiday due to the construction going on upstairs. We thought we'd be able to keep that open the entire time, but we will have to close it next week. Also, all city offices have been relocated to this floor, the first floor, the basement. Again, due to the construction upstairs, we've got everybody located upstairs or downstairs, so when the public comes in from the front entrance, the doors will be open. Just take the elevator downstairs for all city business. I think I've welcomed some of these employees before, but I'd like to welcome the new employees to the city of Lawrenceburg. For the fire department, we have Dwayne Bradley, Justin Ballou, Adam Slater, and Jimmy Rogers will be starting work with us. And with the police department, Matt Judkins and Jeff Renfro are the new hires with the Lawrenceburg Police Department. I'd also like to invite everybody to attend the Spirit of Santa breakfast. That'll be December the 1st from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. So we like to have a big turnout for that as well.
When was that?
December the 1st.
Just one day this year.
And that's all the business I have this morning. I've got a department manager report from Chief Moore.
Morning, gentlemen. Chris asked me just to give a little short report here, so I'm going to try to be as short and brief as I can. As the mayor alluded to, we had a structure fire, one of the biggest structure fires we've had in some time here in the city of Lawrenceburg. On Saturday, November the 11th, shortly after 8 o'clock that morning, we received a call of a structure fire. The first arriving crews were met with heavy smoke and fire conditions. The fire, we were able to contain the fire to the building of origin. The building very well is a total loss. They may be able to salvage the bottom floors. They're going to have to check on that as far as the ability to be able to do that financially and all, but a lot of antiques were lost. There was a horse-drawn combine in the second floor of that facility that had never been used that was lost, to give you an idea of how old some of the stuff was in that facility. But beyond a lot of the public's knowledge, that late that evening, starting about 3:30 that afternoon, we started letting them bring furniture out, and there was 2 tractor-trailer loads and a 24-foot trailer and another small trailer loaded with furniture that was salvageable out of the bottom original portion of the Berline building. As far as dollar loss on that, dollar amount on that was saved, have no idea, but it's going to be into the thousands of dollars that was saved. So while it was a devastating fire to the owner and the public, there was some salvageable stuff there, and appreciate the work of the firefighters that's in this room and some that's not in this room, the hard work that they put out forth that day. Had it not been for them, and the equipment that we had, our new ladder truck, protecting the old motel. We would have had damaged the old motel if not lost it.
Can you tell us about the other departments that responded also?
Exactly. Yes, and that's where I'm going now. We had New Prospect Fire Department automatic aid. We have automatic aid agreement signed with them, so on every structure fire we have in the city, they're automatically dispatched just right after we're dispatched. They responded to the scene for us. We also had Etheridge Fire Department that responded to Station 2 and manned that station and ran several calls while we were on the fire scene in the city, helping to keep the city protected. Lima Fire Department responded to the Station 1 to do the same thing, and we later brought them to the scene. And I called Gandy Fire Department in to man Station 1 and run calls, and they also ran calls in the city, our everyday to-day calls that we have while we were at the structure fire. So I want to say a big thank you to these departments, because without these departments, citizens would have went unprotected in other areas, medical-wise, fire-wise, and things of this nature, because we had nobody to turn loose to go anywhere once we were on the scene. Also, I want to say a big thank you to Chief Beecham. He stayed there with me from the start of this fire till probably 3:30 that afternoon, helping me any way he could. His patrol officers, were blocking the streets and stuff, keeping people off our hose and crowd control. Big thank you to the police department for that and Chief Beecham. Public Works, we had one truck that we had to have fuel for. We presently don't have a fuel tank on any of our equipment to carry extra fuel. Called Jerry. Jerry made arrangements to have one of their trucks bring us fuel to the scene to fuel one of our trucks, because we've been there so long. So I want to thank him for that. And the next morning, I called that afternoon. The next morning, they cleaned the street up. We had a lot of debris in the street and took care of that for us. So I want to say a big thank you to them for that. Our new ladder truck, the newest truck we've got, is what saved the motel. I mean, there's no bones about it. The mayor was there. Several of y'all got to drive by and see it. I know Chris was there. Had it not been for that ladder truck, we would have probably lost that motel, because that's all it done was protecting the motel. It didn't fight any fire at all, basically. So big asset there, big historical piece of property that was saved because of the ladder truck and the men's hard work. I also want to take an opportunity to touch on heater safety. That next night, I think it was, we actually had a fire on Simpson Street or Johnson Street. Everybody thinks that these heaters that you have in the older houses that are in the walls, well, you can cut those off. Those heaters do not cut off. That is a thermostat control. And we had a heater fire in this house because a bookcase was put up against the heater, them thinking that it was cut off. They were thinking everything was okay. And it got cold enough, it cut that heater on and caught the bookcase on fire. So just keep in mind, if you have an older house, some of these older houses that has these ceramic style heaters inserted in the walls, they do not cut off unless you have them unwired or took out of the breaker box. Don't stack nothing in front of them unless you know that's the case, because if it gets cold enough in the house, it's going to cut on and we're going to have a fire. I also want to take the opportunity, it's Thanksgiving. We saying thanks to everybody, thanks to the men that's in this room for the hard work that they've done the last few weeks, because we have been slammed the last few weeks with calls. I know yesterday's shift, I didn't look at the call volume, but I dare say they run between 16 and 20 calls yesterday, all day on a 24-hour shift. And that maybe not sound like a lot, but there was something to every call. It wasn't just a burn release or anything like that. It was work required. And with the Thanksgiving season, cooking turkeys, with deep fryers, be very cautious. We have had several fires over the years in that situation, people cooking turkeys and the oil be too much oil in there and sitting the turkey down there and it overflowing, and all of a sudden you've got a huge fire. So just want to pass in those few safety tips along also with what we've got going on, and hopefully prevent a fire and have a good Thanksgiving for everybody. Thank you.
Chief, did you use both your tower trucks?
We did.
On the fire?
We did. We had Tower 1.
One for the.
Yeah, we had Tower 1 set up out front of the building, and it was actually fighting fire.
Yeah,
And we had
okay.
we had the truck on the. We moved the truck. The initial response with the truck was put on Depot Street because that's where the fire was coming from. Of course, we're running it as an engine also. So the battalion chief made a great decision, but after we seen the fire was the magnitude it was, we repositioned that truck to protect the motel. It done its job.
Well, I just like to say for the neighbors around there, like to say for the motel and the flower shop and the people behind, are very thankful for what y'all did for saving their property.
Right.
Yeah, their neighbors, yeah.
We appreciate, like I said, I appreciate the men's hard work, because if it hadn't been for them, we'd still be there today, probably.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I was standing in that parking lot over, where Hills used to be, or Campbell's Food Town used to be, and it was hot there. I mean, it was a cold day, and I was standing out there, and it was hot. I couldn't imagine being that ladder truck. I mean, they were right over the building, so I can't imagine that. So, well, there's people out there is like, boy, those guys, they got a lot of respect for you men.
Right.
So,
We appreciate it
it's
very much. Thank you.
very, very
There was another comment
admirable.
made. Did the firemen help empty the building? The
We-
furniture, whatever?
We didn't carry a lot of the furniture out, because by the time we allowed them to do that, our guys were totally exhausted. But they did stay with them the whole time, provided lighting for them, made sure everything was safe, because we wanted to make sure that we had a crew on the scene if anything happened with them letting them go in to get that furniture to take care of any situation may happen accidental wise or anything with them. But our guys were exhausted.
Got some of the furniture out, help them with it.
To my knowledge, we didn't help a whole lot, but it wasn't because we didn't really want to, it's because they were wore out. I mean, but we did leave a crew there with lights on the scene and to protect them as much as we possibly could while it was going on. Sure did. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Chris, you have any other business?
I don't have anything else this morning.
All right, so there's no old business on the table. We got a public hearing on ordinance number 1217. And Alan, I'll turn that public hearing over to you to conduct that.
Thank you, Mayor. Would anyone here care to address the board concerning ordinance 1217 this morning? Seeing no one having any comment on that, Mayor, the first matter of business is ordinance 1217. It's an ordinance to amend ordinance 789 entitled zoning ordinance of the city of Lawrenceburg. Lawrenceburg Municipal Code, Title 14, Zoning and Land Use Control, Chapter 2, to be governed by the zoning ordinance published as Appendix 1, Volume 2 of the Lawrenceburg Municipal Code, Article 4. Supplemental provisions, Section 4.130, minimum design standards for transmission and communication towers and stations. Item B, strike all wording except the last sentence, and item C, remove the wording E 1991 and add wording to item G. This is based on a recommendation of the Planning Commission. The public hearing has been held after being properly advertised, and this is here for second and final reading today.
All right, gentlemen, what's your pleasure on ordinance number 1217?
Motion to approve.
I've got a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Is there any discussion on ordinance number 1217? Seeing no discussion, if you're in favor of ordinance number 1217, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. And opposed? And ordinance number 1217 is approved.
Next is ordinance 1219, an ordinance to amend ordinance 1207, entitled the Budget Appropriations of Revenue and Expenditures for the 17-18 fiscal year for the Lawrenceburg, City of Lawrenceburg General Fund. This is to include funds for fire department salary supplements that were not in the budget. That is here for first reading today.
All right, gentlemen, what's your pleasure on
Motion to
ordinance? I've
approve.
got a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Any discussion on ordinance number 1219? Seeing no discussion, if you're in favor of ordinance number 1219, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. And opposed? And ordinance number 1219 moves to second reading.
Next, a resolution of the City of Lawrenceburg to enter into contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation to widen and resurface Wickley Creek Road from State Route 6 US 43 North Locust Avenue to Springer Road, and Old Military Road from Wickley Creek Road, Hicks Street to State Route US 43 North Locust Avenue. PIN is 125-204.00, federal project number STPM 9308, parentheses 10, state project number 50951-3570-54. Contract number is 170034. This resolution requires a 20% match from the City of Lawrenceburg for the this project, and it is here for your consideration today.
All right, gentlemen, what's your pleasure on this resolution?
Motion to
I got a
approve.
motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Any discussion on this?
Yeah, I want to ask a question. It's set up here, from Weekly Creek Road / Hicks Street. Now, so we're talking, on the east side of the railroad track, is that correct?
That's right. That's where the transition to Hicks Street happens, is right there at the railroad track.
So this has nothing to do with the, railroad crossing?
That is correct.
Okay.
But there's your pacemaker going off,
I
Councilman.
guess it is. Sorry.
All right, any other discussion on this resolution? Seeing no further discussion, if you're in favor of this resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, and that resolution is approved.
Next resolution of the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg to amend Resolution 2017-10-5A, Resolution 2015-12-11E, Resolution 2012-2712, Resolution 2011-22-12A, dealing with salary supplement resolutions for the City of Lawrenceburg employees. That's for your consideration today.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion on this resolution? Seeing no discussion, if you're in favor of this resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, and that resolution is approved.
Next resolution, the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, a resolution of the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg to apply for and receive a community development block grant for the Lawrenceburg utility system to rehabilitate the sewer system for Basin 10 and 12. The grant amount is $525. Total cost estimated at $751. Balance to be coming from the utility system funds. And that's for your consideration.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion to approve. And a second. Any discussion on
I
this
just wanted
resolution?
to ask, where is Basin 10 and 12?
West Buffalo Road, Holsford Avenue area, on Victor Street in that area over there.
10 and 12 both sort of together?
They'll both sort of together. And the CDBG grants, most of it has to be low and moderate income areas. So
Okay.
it qualifies low and moderate income.
All right. Any other discussion on this resolution? Seeing no further discussion, if you're in favor of this resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that resolution is approved.
Next, a resolution of the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg to declare certain property in the Administration Department as surplus to be sold at auction on the web. The list deals with various office furniture and filing cabinets, tables, chairs, lamps, office equipment, furniture, decor items, and outdated office supplies. And that's for your consideration today.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion to approve, and a second. Any discussion on this resolution?
Actually, on this equipment, it's not going to be sold on the web, probably by auction because of the value of the equipment. We just need to declare it surplus. Most of it's going to be items that are less than $100 in value, so we can dispose of it in accordance with our purchasing policy without having to actually have an auction.
Okay. All right, so we need to amend that resolution just to delete the as surplus to be sold, or to be sold at auction.
Yes, just to be so,
Probably should say to be sold at auction or according to purchasing
Okay.
policy, right?
yes.
So if you would amend that, Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
motion to amend that.
I'm looking for a motion to amend
So moved.
the resolution to include
Second.
the words "or according to purchase policy." So, all right, that, I got a motion and a second for that amendment. Is there any discussion on the amendment itself? If not, if you're in favor of amending the resolution to include "or according to purchase policy," let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And now the question is the resolution itself as amended. I've already got a motion and a second. Is any further discussion on that? Seeing no further discussion, if you're in favor of the resolution as amended, let me know by saying aye. Aye. And opposed, and that resolution is approved.
Next, a resolution of the Board of Mayor and Council of the City of Lawrenceburg to reappoint Josh Pollock to the Housing Authority Board. Ask for your consideration.
Motion to approve.
We got a motion to approve. Second. And second. Any discussion? All right, seeing no further discussion, if you're in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. And opposed, and that resolution is approved. All right.
That's all my business today, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Appreciate everybody being here today. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service to the city. We appreciate you, and hope you guys the best, and you're always family here, so you're welcome anytime. So, we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and
Yep. Go spend some time with
be
your family.
well. Godspeed. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
You got it.
Got a motion to adjourn?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm out of turn.
Oh, you're out of turn.
Second.
He's going to second it right there. This meeting's adjourned.